Are you enjoying Osaka?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, it sounds good. If you want to know about good restaurants, don't hesitate to talk to me later. I lived here, so I know some good restaurants. But I know you like that. Most Japanese like those restaurants. I'm Masa from Alice. Alice is based in Tokyo and creating a social media using blockchain, especially Ethereum blockchain. And honestly, this is a presentation I'll give at DevCon on day 3, the exact same thing, so you might be lucky. And my key message is let's trade our voting system for a better one, such as majority judgment or quadratic voting, as to change this world to a better one. Have you ever heard of majority judgment or quadratic voting? Oh, really? Okay. Before I give my presentation, let me introduce myself quickly. I founded Alice in 2017, which is a social media. You can check the URL. Sorry, it's for only Japanese, but you can feel the atmosphere. And I'm also in charge of the Radical Exchange Japan chapter, which is created by Graham Whale, the author of Radical Markets. And our company is also researching mechanisms design with famous economist Toyota Sakai from Kyoto University, which is one of the most famous private university in Japan. Because I want to create Alice as decentralized as possible in the future. So that's why I'm looking into a new voting way. So before I introduce majority judgment or quadratic voting, I would ask some questions. Why did Brexit happen? Or why was George W. Bush elected as the US president, though Al Gore was recognized as the best candidate in 2000? I think there are many reasons, but I think one of the reasons is due to the current voting system, majority rule, having huge defects, such as people can reflect the strength of their preference, or easily result in a spoiler effect. I'll explain that later. And relatively easy to manipulate. So, I want to introduce 2 better alternatives to the majority rule. First one is majority judgment, and second one is quadratic voting. First, what's majority judgment? This is an image of majority judgment. Instead of choosing one option, voters give a score to every available option. On the x-axis, you can see the options, and on y-axis, you can see the preference of each option. So you can select how you like each option. And after voting, you can calculate the median of all options. And the option with the highest median wins the vote. And majority judgment guarantees the contentment of the majority of all voters. It's quite simple. And also, it can avoid the spoiler effect. Someone might know about spoiler effect, which is one spoiler candidate in an election draws votes from a major candidate. In case of 2000 US president election, Al Gore was predicted to win, but this guy, Ralph Nader, suddenly came up and he shares. These guys shared their votes, so accidentally George W. Bush won. Yeah. So this is prevented with majority judgment. The second one is quadratic voting. You might be famous with this quadratic voting because it's quite famous in this industry. which is also simple. Boats are bought with credit, and the price of boats increases quadratically for each boat, like cost equal square of number of boats. So if you want to boat one, then you have to consume one credit cost, and if you want to boat two boats, then you have to consume four. Yeah, it's also simple. The option is the most amount of boats wins. And QB voters are able to express how strong they feel about a certain option. So, many people talk about these new voting systems, but very few people seem to try. So we try to use those on our own system. So we use majority judgment on Alice for choosing a new category. Our site has a category on top page, and we asked our community which new category should be added. And also we use quadratic voting for choosing main focus point of Alice in next year. So I don't want to explain the detailed outcome, but I'll share the summary paper later, so you can check the detailed outcome there. So this is a summary of the good point of each voting way. The good points of majority judgments are, which is quite simple. You don't have to explain the voters how to vote. It's quite simple. And the high resistance to manipulation. Also sketches a picture of users' overall preferences as byproduct. This is quite huge merit for me. And also, result is compatible to border rules, which is also famous voting way, and or majority rule. So you can compare the outcomes and decide on one with more confidence. So in case of mine, I had the confidence to choose the outcome created by majority judgment compared to border rules outcome and the majority rule. Also, the good point of quadratic voting, which is also simple, and can reflect the preference of a minority that has the largest interest in a particular poll. Glenn, the author of Radical Markets, also emphasized this effect in his book. And the interesting is, it makes voters think more about the voting. So in Japan, many young people don't go to the election, but on our website, many young people also voted because it seems kind of game. It seems interesting to choose which topics you want to vote more or not. Yeah, so in conclusion, majority judgment functions much better than other voting rules. Implementing is relatively easy, and as developers of the platform, the extra info the result gives is also a nice plus. Like you can see which users, you can know what users really think about. And it's one of the greatest voting systems according to Professor Sakai. Also, quadratic voting provided an interesting outcome, more difficult to implement compared to majority judgment, but worth trying depending on the poll subject, especially beneficial if you want to give a power to minority. So if you would like to know more detail about majority judgment, then summary paper, you can download the summary paper through this QR code. So I think it's worth trying. Thank you.
Any questions from the audience? So you've done majority of judgment and quadratic voting
Mhm.
with your community.
Yeah.
And what is the community's response been? What do they prefer?
They prefer majority judgment because it seems more simple than QV. Yeah, QV is a little bit difficult for them. So we had to explain what is quadratic voting before the voting. So yeah.
In your experiments, how do you decide about how much budget or how much credits you want to?
It is a good question. It is quite difficult to decide, and we also discussed about that with professor, but he said there's no answer about that. So we just decided how much. Yeah. So now there's no ideal answer for that. Yeah.
And usually, what value you have been using?
What?
What was your credit amount you've been using?
There's no usual case as well. Yeah. At this moment, I also asked Glenn about the amount of credit, or should we should users can save this credit for next year, or several questions, but there's no ideal answer yet. Yeah, so we have to try what is good use case.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so you don't have to ask about good restaurants. Yeah, it's okay.
I was just wondering if you could come back to Brexit slide because my friends will find that hilarious. Right.
Okay, thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think there are many reasons. Yeah, have you seen The Great Hack? Yeah, I like that movie, but yeah, it explained the yeah.
So the woman in The Great Hack, the one, the girl that came down listening who was like testifying in Parliament.
Yeah.
She was actually at DevCon 3.
Yeah.
I met her and then realised like 6 months later who she was.
Oh, really? Okay.
Any other questions? All right, thanks, Masa.
Okay, thank you.